I've recorded this intro like 9 times because I keep forgetting what I'm talking about. Anyways, so I finished wrapping the S. It took me the last 6 days because I have nothing else to do while in quarantine, so I might as well get that done. I only didn't make a video for it because I don't really like being watched for that kind of thing, and then I also don't want to get clowned on for my bad techniques, but I did burn the shit out of myself. I still gotta wrap the circuit garage over fenders, so maybe I'll make a video for that, because those can't even go on until next week because I'm still waiting on rivets to come in the mail. Go figure. But for today's video, I'm going to talk about 6 things I love and hate about the S2000 now that I've been daily driving it for the last 2.5 months. So let's get started with that. So the first thing I hate about this car is, it's kind of obvious, it's the wind noise. But that's kind of my fault because I got a soft top, so maybe I should just get a hard top. With the soft top, it does get a little bit cold, but my biggest complaint is that when I'm driving at like 60 miles an hour, I feel like I'm going to fly away. I just hear this whoosh, and it drives me nuts. But that's what the radio is for, so you just turn that up and then the wind noise is gone. The second thing I hate is the steering column is not adjustable. So if you're taller or shorter than the average person, it's a little bit tough. Like, dead ass. There's nothing here for it. You can't move it. And so I'm a little bit short, so I can't move it down. So I have to kind of, in order to really see over the steering wheel, unless I just kind of gangsta lean. But, you know, you get over it. But it's kind of annoying. With that said, the third thing I hate is that the seats aren't height adjustable either. They're just kind of one, it's only a slider, and then the reclining, that's it. I mean, that's kind of like how bucket seats are anyways. But I'm short, so I have to sit on a folded towel in order to kind of sit at an average height to be able to see over the dash and over my steering wheel. But if you're somebody who's probably the average height or taller, this isn't going to be a problem for you. If you're me and you're 5'1" and 3/4, it sucks. This is another kind of obvious one for number 4, and that is the lack of space in the car. It's kind of tough to go grocery shopping. I'm not going to show you guys the trunk because that's something you can just Google. I don't really feel like getting out of the car. But I always keep like a bin in my car of like stuff that I might need, like oil. I also have a tiny little toolbox. I have all my detailing stuff in there. So I keep that in there in like a milk crate all the time. And then when I go grocery shopping, I can only get like 3 bags of groceries and gotta kind of stuff them in there. So it's not really the best grocery getter, but gets the job done. I'm watching my boyfriend. He's standing out front. I don't know why. So number 5 is the awkward glove boxes. But I can't think of a better way to put them, but it's still kind of awkward because if you want to get your shit, you gotta kind of, and then if you want to get to this one, down, there's your trunk button, by the way, and then you gotta lift that up, and then it hits the soft top glass, and I don't really want to scratch it or damage it or anything, but it's kind of awkward. It's not bad, it's just awkward. The last thing, number 6, is the cup holders. It's such a bad design in general. So I can maybe fit one here and then I slide it over to kind of hold it, but then it gets in the way of my shifting. There's my list, by the way. It gets in the way of my shifting and drives me nuts. And then if my boyfriend wants a drink too, we have to shove both in there, and then this one tends to just like pop out. It's so dumb. I mean, how else are you supposed to stay hydrated on the toge? So one of the fun ones, the things I love. So first thing I love is that these cars only came in stick. So if you kind of assume that an S2000 driver is driving an automatic, you're uneducated. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to sound pretentious, but I'm just saying, like, it's like an STI, like they only come in stick. Man, so when I went to the DMV to register this car for the first time, I took my steering wheel with me just because I didn't really know the area, you know, just want to keep my shit safe. And when they finally call up my number after like 2 hours and the lady's helping me, super nice, she asked me, she's like, oh, why do you have a steering wheel with you? I'm like, oh, well, it's off my car. She's like, oh, what are you driving? I'm like, oh, the S2000, the car that I'm registering. I take my steering wheel with me when I'm in an area that I'm not really familiar with, just for a safety measure. She's like, oh, okay. And this like ginger white boy next to me, probably around 30. Not like, you know, any of that really matters, but just to give you a visual. He's also, you know, getting helped. And he turns towards me and he's like, well, maybe you should get a manual car. And I look at him. I'm like, you just heard my whole conversation. I tell him, I do drive manual. The S2000 only came in manual. And he's like embarrassed. Everybody at the DMV is watching because they're all bored. He's like, oh, well, I drove a Porsche. And I'm like, cool. Good for you. I'm thinking in my head, like, I don't care. And if you really were like a Porsche enthusiast, I'm pretty sure you would have said Porsche, not Porsche. So if you're watching this, you're weird. Anyways, number 2 for the things I love is the OEM shifter. It's not like a crazy long throw. It's a nice, short, easy, simple throw. It's not crazy long, but it's not crazy short. And I won't accidentally downshift from 5th to 2nd in this car like how I did before and fucked my shit. I do have a video on the throw if you guys need to see the throw, but everybody loves it. I know every owner loves it. Not many people actually change it out to the short shifter just because they love the OEM throw so much. So number 3 is kind of what this car is famous for, and that is it grips so good on the toge. Oh my god. We have mountains around here where I am. Well, I mean, it's still a 40-minute drive, but it's really not that bad. Oh my god, with all the twists and turns in the mountains, it feels so good. It's so responsive. It feels like I'm driving like a go-kart or something. Like it's just, it wants to go. It wants to hug these turns, which leads me to the 4th thing I love about this car is that when it does get sideways, it gets sideways. I drift every morning when I go to work. Drift. I use the turn lightly because I skirt. It wants to kick out when you kick it out, but when you're on the turns, it wants to hug the turns. You know what I mean? The 5th thing, the 5th thing I love about this car is that the engine bay is so big. It kind of reminds me of when I had my Integra because you just have all this space to work on it and for fun activities. But I'm also coming from having RSX where there's no room in the engine bay for anything. Like, it's a pain in the ass to work on. But on this car, god, it's so empty, it's so big, it's a nice long base. You can do so much. You can hide a dead body in there. You can put a supercharger in there. You can obviously put a big turbo in there. Oh my god, I love it so much. My boyfriend's taking out the 240. Anyway, so the last thing on the list, it's probably the most obvious why anybody ever buys a Honda, and it's the freaking motor, man. It's the VTEC. I have the AP2, the F22, so I have more torque, but I don't rev up as high as the first gen guys. It's just, oh, it's so good. It sounds so powerful for such a little engine. And once you surpass like 4K, the engine starts fucking roaring. I don't even have an exhaust, and it just roars and it just wants to go. It just wants to play. It's this cute little car. It just wants to play. I'll attach a video because like words can't even describe it. I love it so much. If you guys made it this far, thank you for being bored with me and hanging out with me. I don't know if you're watching this video just because you have nothing else to do, or you guys are watching this video because you're thinking about getting an S2000. If you are, just do it. Oh my God, just do it. Unless you're somebody that needs to go buy car parts, because it's absolutely horrible to do car part runs in this car because there's no space in it. But it's so much fun for daily driving. Oh my God. I love this freaking car so much, and you guys will too if you ever drive one or if you own one. You know what I'm talking about, and you guys probably agree with me on at least half of this stuff. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Stay safe.